Last time was the public release with its safety harness. Today, it's the real model with the muzzle off. Claude Mythos, partner only. People who've worked with it call it delightful and unnerving at once. How far can the muzzle off model go, and what must you give up to use it? Let's weigh the capability and its price from a senior operations point of view. First, what Mythos is. It's the same model as the public Fable, but with the safety harness removed, and it's offered only to partner companies. The too dangerous label was no exaggeration. In Firefox alone, it found 271 vulnerabilities on its own. In drug design, it hit 9 of 14 targets at expert level, and it researched the genomes of 138 species almost autonomously. So what's it like to work with this model? Let's read one first-hand account straight. First, the work shifted from process to outcome. The author no longer steers, they commission. Second, they describe the experience as delightful and unnerving at once, because you ask for something and it just happens. Third, once told, it doesn't stop. It took multi-page specs and worked close to 12 hours. One task ran 9.5 hours on its own, and produced a sophisticated piece of software. Mythos changes 3 things. First, frontier capability. It's the original to public release lockdown, doing expert-level autonomous research in security and life sciences. Second, a role shift. Instead of directing the process, you commission the outcome, but the burden of verification still sits with you. Third, the toll of access. To use this tier, you must agree to data sharing, and that data leaves the security boundary. So, what must you give up to use this capability? To call this tier through the cloud, you have to agree to data sharing first. The moment you do, your input and output leave the security boundary for the vendor, get retained for 30 days, and are reviewed by humans. The stated reason is abuse detection. It applies even if you have an existing no retention contract, and they say it applies the same way to every model of this tier going forward. DeepPulse Deep Dive. As an operator, I read this differently. Until now, the question was whether you could use this model. But the line Mythos draws is different. Now it's what you give up to use it. 3 things stop me. First, data sovereignty. If the price of capability is data, regulated industries in the public sector are out from the start. Second, verification. Commissioning is easy, but confirming the result is correct stays with a human. Who audits a 9-hour autonomous run? Third, path dependence. If the same terms apply to every future model, one consent becomes the standard. My standard is clear. The stronger the capability, the sooner I price it in. Power used without knowing what you give up is the most dangerous kind. Reactions split 4 ways. First, awe and skepticism side by side. Real awe at sophisticated one-shot results, alongside cooler takes that in practice, it gets you 80 to 90%, and the finish and verification are still on you. Second, pushback on data sharing. Conditions that send data outside the security boundary, they argue, won't fly for regulated firms or the public sector, especially in Europe. Third, distrust of the opt-in. It's a choice now, they suspect, but it'll quietly slip into the terms and become mandatory. Fourth, ambivalence about the role shift. Commissioning instead of steering feels delightful, yet many felt unnerved, like they're handing over control. To sum up, the muzzle-off Mythos is genuinely capable. But the real line Mythos draws isn't capability. It's price. The trade of giving up data to borrow capability, the burden of verifying the result, and the chance it becomes the standard. The more powerful the model, the sooner you must weigh what you give up to use it. That was today's DeepPulse. The more powerful the model, the first thing to weigh isn't the capability, it's the price of using it. See you next Pulse.